Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Arcanautus Ascent. We are playing without Shylvie tonight. For now, they may be joining us in a little while, though. After the absolute madness that was last session, we are kind of gonna ease back a little bit, I think. This session's probably gonna be a little shorter. Just slightly.
Shorter than 6 hours.
So our party had acquired the captured individual, returned to the red-haired woman was found after you all got. Many of you got your asses beat to various degrees. As these deep scions, these fish-faced creatures with terrible sharp needle teeth and raking claws and tendrils coming out the back of their heads, had assailed you all as you went in guns blazing to rescue this person from a warehouse. You had dispatched the regular guards with very little issue, but these monstrous sea entities, deep scions, as you realize they are now called, had given you quite the run for your money. Everybody leveled up because of how ridiculous that was. And so now you're all level 3, I think, right?
Yep.
Cool beans. And as we are back at the, in your rooms and everybody is kind of recovering, Shylvie is very out of it today, and as you all reconvene in the morning, you all are very exhausted. Everybody's sore from the injuries they sustained. Zen, you're looking pretty rough. Leon, you've got a lot of scrapes and bruises. Everybody's looking pretty rough from yesterday's fight. Mostly cleaned up, although I'm sure there are still some red stains on some of your clothing left over from the just fountains of blood that had been spewing all over the place just everywhere. You all are getting paid today. Isn't that lovely? The Silver Dragonborn was going to meet you at the Waves Crash to deliver your payment today. As you all wake up and reconvene, the red-haired woman, I assume, Siegfried, that you had, let her down and untied her and stuff?
No.
I highly doubt he would have done that.
No.
Okay, cool.
I told him to untie her.
Shylvie and Leon had untied her at some point, and she was given a room free of charge.
I'd like to question her at some point.
Sorry?
I'd like to question her at some point.
You know what? We could, before we, interact with Kay, you all would come out of your rooms in the morning and see the, cloaked figure sitting at the bar. Before that, as you all are resting down for the night, everybody is fucking beat to shit, and Leon and Shylvie have just, eventually got, the person untied. This woman with her sort of, disheveled red hair and, various kind of, sort of mercantile level attire as far as, presentation goes, although, mostly, a bit ragged from perhaps being trapped for several days. They, introduce themselves to you all. Hello. Yes, thank you all for saving me.
Need water?
Hi. Yes, please. And you give her water.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. My name is... I'm Anna. It's a pleasure to meet you all. I am very grateful for the the rescue. There was nothing I could do. There was no way I would have been able to fight off those things. I don't even know why they took me. I was just going about traveling through the sketchier region of town, just seeing who needed my various general wares, and I got robbed, blindfolded, and thrown in a crate by these lanky, tall gentlemen who I now realize are giant fish monsters. So, that's cool. Who are you lot, if I might inquire?
We're just adventurers. We were hired by maybe your family or something like that to rescue you because they didn't want to pay the what's the word? The ransom. They didn't want to pay the ransom, so they paid us to save you instead.
Oh, I see. Oh, how embarrassing.
So you have no idea why they kidnapped you?
I mean, I, Are you folks good at keeping, like, your mouths shut about things?
Siegfried's gonna shake his head no.
This guy doesn't talk. He's a mute.
I see. My family is very wealthy. If I've tried my best to avoid letting my family name slip, but, apparently someone recognized me, probably because I refused to dye my hair. Yes, of course. Yes, they most likely just needed funds, or they wanted to get at my family somehow. Fortunately is not a great way to say it, but I suppose
At least you're not dead.
Sorry?
At least you're not dead.
At least I'm not dead. That is important. You can't make coin if you're 6 feet under, or sleeping with the fish, as it were.
Please don't say fish.
Sorry?
Please don't say fish.
I know. The smell just, oh god, so awful. Either way, yes, my family is quite wealthy and powerful, and if they've discovered who I'm related to, it only makes sense that I was to get kidnapped. My usual guard detail had somehow abandoned me in those moments that I was... Oh, wait. No, I distinctly remember nope, they're dead. Never mind. They're all dead. I'm sure. You know what? I'll have to ask around to see if any of them survived, but given the nature of those beasts, I highly doubt it. You all fought them. What do you think? Is there any chance that they're alive?
They're so
Probably
dead.
not.
They're dead? So, like, is that like
Safe to say they're
like a
probably
50% chance they're dead, or...
I'd
like
say you
safe
have
to say that we almost died. I'm pretty sure like 70 at minimum.
Okay.
Alright, so were there like 20 of them?
There were 3.
They're dead.
Okay, got it. Alright, well, that's... I'll have to
They
send
did
flowers.
take out one, I think.
Huh.
How many were there, did you say?
There were...
Like
I'm sorry, I thought the question was about the guards.
No,
They're on the
that
monsters.
was what I was saying. Now I'm asking, how many fish people did you see?
Yeah.
Me, personally, I never saw... Well, one of them, I think, transformed after the blindfold was on me.
I see. Well, if you saw 2 guys, no, they failed to kill anything and they're all dead.
There were several folks, a couple dwarves, one triton, a gentleman with very long black hair was the one who grabbed me and blindfolded me, and then there was another one who was going to fight my guards, it seemed. I think he was the one who I heard slishing, sloshing, and splotching and transforming, apparently. So, yeah.
Very sorry for your loss.
They... I hate to say it, but they knew what they were getting into with this line of work, and they knew who I was, to a certain extent.
Yeah.
I'll send some reparations to their families. It's the least I can do. So you said you were all getting paid then? My family's taking care of it?
Yes, they have.
Well, thank you. I suppose being robbed, I am going to have to return home to recover some of my savings. This is miserable. This is an awful situation. Well, sorry?
What did they steal from you?
My merchandise, general wares. I sold soaps, various shampoos of sorts, sort of fragrances, those sorts of things. I figured people in the, less areas with less access to such things would be interested in, buying them. But my nose for business does not translate to a, sense for trouble, apparently. Yeah, so... And then, of course, all the gold I had on me, which was not an insignificant amount. Which is gone now, I assume.
It might be in that warehouse.
Possibly. Maybe.
So maybe you can have your family go check it out.
Oh, I'm sure. Based on, I could smell the blood from in the crate that I was in. I get the feeling the guard will be launching a full clean investigation / cleanup situation over there.
So what family from again?
This gentleman here mentioned that he can't keep his mouth shut. You say he's a mute, but by...
Shut.
Sorry?
His mouth is always shut. He's on mute.
Siegfried's gonna smile.
Is it, scary, Siegfried? Be honest.
I wouldn't say so.
Okay, more of a reassuring smile.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check, Siegfried, with advantage. We'll say Zen is helping you.
Eight.
Oh, the chat, silly me.
So that'd be a 13.
13, okay. She says, I am one of the noble houses. One of the larger noble houses. I'm not on good terms with my family for my, I suppose, lack of tact or lack of... Well, let's just say none of them ever get into these sorts of situations. I'm a bit more of a risk taker than my folks. A bit more inclined towards taking risks to make coin and progress wherever I can. And, well, my folks are more ingrained in tradition and... to say it in a single phrase, they are old money, while I would like to... while benefiting from said old money, make my own fortune. Don't want to be tied down to them for my entire life, you know?
No, it makes sense. Everyone's gotta leave the fly the coop eventually. Leave the nest and whatnot.
Indeed. Of course. Of course, I'll need to find new guards now, and, it really does look like I'll be heading home for a while. How miserable.
Well, if you're looking for bodyguards, you have coin. We're gonna be probably end up traveling around.
I did hear tale of some growth that some flowers that grow on the southern volcanic island. My crew that died recently, as you said, they were not inclined towards traveling, but if you folks are more inclined towards travel, I mean, there might be an opportunity for business here. Just saying.
Okay, may I ask something out of game?
Yes.
Is a Leon allowed to travel? Like,
Technically, no. You
That's why.
can request a leave of absence, or you can let them know that you are participating in a spot of mercenary work for coin, and you would probably just have to talk to your commanding officer, which in this case is Gabriel, and just request. Gabriel has been pretty lenient with you, and there's a reason why you are so confident in your ability to go out adventuring like this. Gabriel has usually been pretty lenient as long as you've given him a good enough excuse. Like letting you leave town.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah. Especially if you're like, if there's an opportunity to make some coin or like give the Sky Knights a good reputation,
I'm also sort of getting stronger too, so I'm also that's helping out.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what was the attunement I got again? Because
So
for some reason I didn't save.
I apologize. Did you want the? So you wanted one of the spellcasting ones, correct?
I think I got the archer one. Something with the archer.
Oh, you want it to be the fighter one.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, so then you just gain the archer. The only thing you gain at 3rd level then is the archery fighting style.
How? What is it again? +2.
It's +2 to hit with ranged attacks. Yeah.
Okay,
And the 3 bond attunements for Sky Knight are Bond of the Vigilant, which is the cleric spellcaster, the Bond of the Element, which is the wizard spellcaster, and then the Bond of the Warrior, which is what you are. And at 3rd level, you gain a fighting style, which you said you took archery.
Yes.
Yeah. So then that's all that you need to worry about for now.
I'll probably go warrior because spells like a cleric, because spells aren't my type of thing.
Okay. Yep. And that's totally good. Okay. Anywho. Sorry. So, Anna, this red-haired woman that you are all interrogating and just rescued, indicates... Alright, well, I'm personally a tad exhausted from my ordeal. I would like to wash up and fix my hair more than anything. And then sleep all night.
We have got you a room.
Very
So
nice.
you're good.
Alright, sounds good. Thank you very much. And she goes off to her room, and you all turn in for the night. Did you want to talk about anything about her with each other before you all meet up again in the morning?
So, you guys willing to do the mercenary work?
I mean, I want to travel down to the southeastern islands anyway, so making some coin on the way doesn't sound like a bad idea.
Sounds good.
Zen,
Yeah, was it?
as a reminder, it's sort of a circle of islands. You are on the northwestern island. The northwestern island sort of crescent. Both of the islands are in a sort of crescent shape around the Eye of Caesar, which is this, sea in the middle, in between them all, that spawns all the chaos shit. There are 2 volcanic islands to the north and south that separate the land between the 2 islands, and a little bit of water. She was referring to the bottom tip of the northwestern island, and then going off that to the volcanic island there. Here, you know what? Can I just grab the map, I wonder? And I could just actually post it on Roll20. That'd be great. Here, let me do that. Because that way I can physically show you guys and ping on the map where everything is. This will be nice.
Okay.
I think this will be really nice.
Probably should make like a separate like how you can make different rooms in the Roll 20 just like make that one specific room just for the map.
No.
Yeah, here, one sec. Wait, no, this is not... This is the digital copy. I have a couple different copies of the map. Strange. Very strange. Maybe I have to look it up on Discord.
If you have a picture version, can't you upload the picture as the background and then just...
That is exactly what I am going to do. I just have to... Who made my map? Guildmaster? Yeah, Guildmaster is the one who made my map.
Is it the same?
There it is. Found it. I found it. Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, he didn't name it Arcanautus. Okay, never mind. He named it Sigilgea Islands, which is what it was named before the, Okay, so yes, I do have the image. Let me upload it. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Thank you for your patience, by the way.
Down. Lay down. Stop.
Okay, it's probably going to take a hot minute to... Never mind.
I will die.
Uh-oh. That's not promising.
To not cover us up, you're gonna have to like make that.
I know. Just give me a sec.
Okay, just making sure if you knew that or not.
That was awesome.
It's all good. Yeah. Guildmaster created a map.
Yeah. No, Good Master gave some good maps.
This is not.
That's not the one.
Well, what's the quality on it? One sec. I have to zoom in.
You look really good. You don't. I don't
It's
think
good quality.
Yeah. Okay. This is the medium quality one. He has an even higher res version that I think would destroy Roll20, so we're not going to use it. Okay. So, Arcanautus. Yeah. Oh, this is the one without all the names and stuff. So I can ping now.
We're right here, right?
Yeah. Well,
here.
you guys mostly have been working and living in here.
Okay.
Yeah, and then this spire here indicates the Noble District and the Sky Knight Tower, as well as the grounds of the Saltmire Keep, which is the primary the most powerful nobility, where they have their mansion and their sort of side mansions that other nobles also reside in. And then we have other high-end districts, and then over here, actually, I haven't mentioned this because it hasn't come up yet, but there is a sort of reserve section of the city adjacent to the port city section. It is essentially a walled-off section of the forest that is mostly used for the cultivation of the magical Yaya fruit, as well as a couple of native species that either help with the production of Yaya fruit or themselves are valuable. There's a colorful, rainbow-colored variety of monkeys that help pick the fruit, and they themselves make for useful companions, although one of the noble houses pretty much has a lock on the sale and trade of those monkeys, the ones who mainly are in charge of the Yaya fruit trade. Okay, so anyway, sorry. So the island that she was indicating is this volcanic island down here to the south.
Okay.
She indicated that there is a flora on that island that produces a very interesting sort of ashy scent, and it naturally has these little granules in it that are really good for for making scrubs and stuff. So I was kind of interested in those. The nobles actually are quite interested in them due to their difficulty of harvesting. What with being on a island that also resides an active volcano. So those fetch me a pretty penny when I'm able to produce those. So that's sort of been my inclination the past couple months. And so you all head off to bed and return in the morning. Before you all head down, would you like to discuss anything in your rooms before you meet Anna and Kay at the bar?
I had a question for you, based on the map. So the two locations that I've learned of off tape are, where would those be? So that the place with the hermit and the place with the enchanter. So So I'm guessing
the hermit lives in the woods near the bottom peninsula of the island, and
Okay.
this is the Navy garrison.
Okay. All right. Cool. And in regards to talking about it, I don't really have anything to say as long as we get our money. If you guys want to try to convince them to give us more, I doubt they would, but we can try. But
Oh, I can try.
so we can see what happens. Based on their earlier behaviors, I'm not sure if they would like try that they would comply at all. But hey, man, we almost died. It was,
Shoot.
Can I just say something?
One sec. That'll be. One sec. My recording cut out.
Oh shit! Can I just say something? It's not about the. It's just
No. We're still recording audio. Oh, whoops! That's a JonTron video. Sorry, everybody. Minor technical difficulties.
you'll probably
Okay, we're good. They saw one of the other tabs that I have open for a second, and it's one of the newest JonTron videos. Anyways, sorry, everybody. Da-da-da. All right, everybody, we're back. Leon, you were gonna say something.
Okay, it's just a picture. Doesn't this look like a cat?
A little bit. But that is the spire. That the Sky Knights use as their base of operations. And again, it is owned by the Saltmeyer family, so they utilize it for their own purposes as well. None of the Saltmeyer family live in the tower, but a couple of them have offices in the tower for business purposes or if they're needed to fill out forms.
Alright.
So, can I transition here to you all see Kay sitting adjacent to Anna at the bar? Have you all woken up and all that jazz?
Yeah, how do they before we interact? Like, how do they look peaceful? Do they look like they have an amicable relationship, adversarial?
They appear to be mostly staying extremely. You know what? Zen, roll an insight check for me. Whoop. Yeah.
13.
Yeah. Anna appears to have no problem with, appears to be, like, kind of, has a light smile, seems to be making quiet, pleasant conversation towards Kay, and Kay's eyebrows are just, like, lowered and scrunched together, and she's just sipping on her ale, and just kind of glancing over at Anna every so often, and, like, she's not scowling, and, like, she's keeping a professional appearance on her face, but she's clearly disengaged from the conversation, and isn't trying to put on as much of an air of pleasantry as Anna might be. Anna
So
looks
she-
like Anna
thing in
looks
the
like she
morning?
is either really good friends with Kay, and Kay is just in a bad mood, or Anna is just a positive person. I mean, it's a little unclear, but she's being relatively positive. And Anna sees you all and indicates with a slight head nod and wave. Zen, you said 13? Yeah,
13.
that's all you particularly notice. She waves you all over. Kay indicates towards you all with her mug of ale to sit.
Okay, I said.
I sit down.
Siegfried?
He's gonna just keep standing.
Okay. Anna greets you all with a... Hail, my saviors. How are you this morning?
I feel like that.
Kay, dear, we were just discussing last night that I may be borrowing these fine folks for a little expedition soon. Doesn't that sound lovely? Kay responds with a low grumble, and she looks up at Crusher Wave, Kay does, and she sort of, like, indicates for him to, with a twitch of her head to the side. Crasher Wave sort of looks at her, kind of grits his teeth a little in a bit of an apprehensive smile, and turns around and starts organizing some wine bottles and various drinks on the back shelf. As Kay looks over to you all, slaps four small bags of coin on the table and pushes them all and distributes them all to you quickly and efficiently, trying to make as little fuss as possible. It's not as heavy as you expected.
Can
May
I how much I got?
just because I'll then go first. My bad.
Really, you can if you want to say something, you can say. I'm just gonna be counting it while you talk.
Yeah, I was probably like sneakily trying to count it also like on my bag or like how was that?
So
You count your bag,
Leon, you're
probably...
kind of feeling the bag and feeling its weight. Zen, you open the bag immediately when you feel how light it is, and you see platinum in there.
I see.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, okay.
Yep. Notably, none of you have really seen platinum before. It is used sometimes in exchange for vast quantities of wares between shippers and warehouses or like large quantity buyers. But most of the business, the day-to-day business, is done in gold and silver. You guys haven't seen platinum and don't see platinum around the port very frequently at all.
I see.
Makes sense. So add 15 platinum.
No, actually, I'm sorry. It's 100 gold as a platinum, so yes, you each get 15 platinum.
Yeah.
And by the way, just for the purposes of math for everybody, I'm gonna say 90% of people that you're gonna be giving, like, if you're in town and you're working with a business, most of them have change. If you're out of town or if you're in a seedy place, they might not have change, so keep that in mind.
Okay, so basically use platinum in town, use gold out.
Yeah, exactly. That is a good way to think about it. So each of you gets 15 platinum.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Do you guys want to play first?
Sorry?
No, I'm asking like Leon and well, Siegfried is gonna more emote, but I was asking if they'd like to say anything to Kay.
I'm good. I got around the money. I'm not gonna complain about the job. We got the money. Why would I complain?
Kay indicates towards you all and says, I was speaking with Anna a little bit, and she mentioned some creatures that you all may have encountered, and I took the opportunity to send someone down to the guard compound, no, that's right, the guard compound, and they questioned or are questioning this creature to gather some information.
Kill it. Kill that thing. Stab it in the face.
I very much plan to.
Good.
The guard are very apprehensive about handling it, so I have one of my best men keeping a very close eye on it. I did not expect... You all did very good.
Yeah.
I'm glad that my eye for potential was not misproven.
I'm sorry, but I can't help like from honing my laughter from just like everything that we fucked up during the whole mission. It's just funny to me.
How is Leon feeling? Does he feel any of this, or is this more just you laughing, Triwolf?
It's just me laughing. Like Leon will probably think about it, but he won't say anything. Or probably won't laugh.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I feel like I'm just dying of laughter because we fucked up so much during that mission. I'm surprised that he still has faith in us.
Zen feels something about contempt, but do you have any idea why those creatures and their quote-unquote master wanted to kidnap Anna?
If you give me about 5 more minutes, if we just enjoy our drinks for a little bit, I'll be able to tell you. Around sorry.
7 a.m. Why are you drinking? It's 7 a.m.
It's 5 p.m. somewhere.
I don't think so.
It's alcohol, probably, huh? It's 5 p.m. somewhere. I like that quote.
She indicates Crasher. And Crasher Wave sort of turns around. He has his standard, positive presentery demeanor, but you all can see this in his face if you look at him and take any moment to notice. He does seem rather tense as he speaks to this woman, and he says, yes, milady, what can I do you for? 4 more rounds, if you don't mind. Of course, yeah. Hey, everybody. Oh, wait, where's Shylvie? And Shylvie sort of indicates from the doorway behind you all, from near the rooms. They're kind of holding their stomach, and they indicate, I'm not feeling super hot right now. Give me a little bit. And they sort of head back to the room. They seem to be either ill or just really beat from yesterday. Alright, well, and Crasher indicates towards the gold and says, will you all give that to her, or should I deliver it to her room?
Matter of not.
Deliver it.
Alright. And he sort of grabs it, puts it under the counter, and kind of nods at you all and says, I'll hand it to her when she comes out, alright? Or when they come out, alright? Anyways, so he gives you, Kay indicates, what do you all drink, if I might ask? Since we have a minute to relax before we get some more information.
What would Leon drink?
Anna pipes up immediately. I could use something fruity with a little bit of sugar in it, please. And Crasher sort of like scratches his head for a sec, and then grabs an orange from under the counter and sort of is just like, all right. And he goes to go make like a Sex on the Beach or some other mixed drink, some like cocktail.
So does Crasher Wave make the Yaya fruit drink or no?
Do you want to ask?
Oh, sure. I asked Crusher Wave. Hey, Crusher Wave, do you make the magic Yaya fruit alcohol beverage?
As he's sort of grinding the orange to get some juice out of it, he mentions over to you. He's got a bit of a grimace as he says, A little bit of a stranglehold on the supply right now. I've been able to get a couple in over the past month, but, like, that place over in the Noble District tends to keep most of the good stuff for themselves, and I am a man of quality, if anything, so I don't really want the leftover scraps.
I see.
I
see.
prefer to not give folks rotten fruit, which is mostly what is available as far as those go. I have some, but I don't know if it's in your price range. Like, it's crazy stuff.
I'll have some ale. Just go.
Alright, of course.
I'll try some ale for the first time. Just go that.
Classic ale. Can't go wrong with ale.
Nope.
And he pours you a glass, finishes off Anna's mixed drink, puts down the martini glass in front of her, and is just like, is that good? And she's like, of course, absolutely perfect, Mr. Wave. Crasher Wave is usually a very outgoing gentleman, very, very showy. He's a retired wrestler. He knows how to put on a show. He seems way more nervous than you've ever seen him, except when you came back to tell him about how his ship was getting towed in. Like, it's that level. It's not quite that level of immediate, like, panic, but it's a similar level of nervousness.
So what you're basically saying is she's kind of faking the nice demeanor. If I'm
No, not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily,
I'm
but-
telling you how Crasher Wave is reacting to these two women sitting at his bar.
okay.
I'm just gonna. Can I have a water?
Just a
Of course,
water.
yeah, no prob. Wait, he says, of course, yeah, no prob, and then he goes over to the sink and is just like, or to the, the water thing, and he's just like, you sure you don't want ale or something bottled? Just based on what you've told me lately, I don't know if maybe,
True.
Fine, something bottled that's not alcohol because it's 7 a.m.
I hear you. And he passes you over a jug of milk from his ice box.
And he takes the milk and he takes it all down in one slug. Wow, my brain just stopped working.
One glug.
Yes, one glug. Let's go with that one. Jesus.
Could you make a Constitution saving throw for me, Zen?
Oh, really? Okay. I see where this is going. I think that's. One sec. I think that's a 15.
You're totally fine. You get it all down, and it is a vast quantity of milk that you just consumed quickly. Enjoy.
You sure it's milk?
Oh no, it's milk. It's definitely milk. It's just have you ever chugged milk before?
Yes.
Yeah. Anywho, I'm getting distracted. You all go about your drinks. Anna continues to talk to you all about how I'm so excited to get to traveling again. Of course, I have to trudge back home for a little while, and she kind of rolls her eyes towards Kay and sort of gives her like a smile and a wink, and Kay just sort of remains neutral but kind of puts a finger to her temple and begins to rub slowly. And she's just basically telling you all about how, I've only ever been down there once, and I never actually ended up going on the island. I just stayed on the ship when I was younger, and I watched some of the folks that I'd hired and go recover the flower for me. It was amazing. They were assaulted by a lava monster, which was cool in a way, but, like, that's probably not going to be a problem for us at all. It's not the season, right? And she looks over at Kay and is just like, right? Like, the volcano's not going crazy right now, right? And Kay thinks for a minute, looks up, and is just like, We are about to get into the typical season when the volcano begins to become more active. It could be any day now that it begins to spew once again. And Anna is just like, so yeah, we got plenty of time.
Okay, so we know how Anna is. Very happy-go-lucky, but can probably kill you very easily if you mess with her.
There is a significant chance for coin in this endeavor, my friends, for myself, of course, and for my lovely assistants.
Guess we're the assistants.
Well-paid assistants.
How well paid are we talking here?
How's 5 gold a day sound?
That's pretty good, to be honest.
I don't know how many days would this take.
Usually it goes about a week, week and a half, depending on if we encounter any issues on the trip. We would sail along the outer coast. I mean, it would take less time if we sailed along the inner coast, but I'd have to use my family's ship, which I don't want to do, so I'm willing to pay the extra gold to you folks if I don't have to see those assholes again. Pardon my saying. And she says, says that in the direction of Kay, and Kay just kind of, like, waves a hand, just like it, I don't care. But yes, so we'd be, and of course, upon successful return and my unharmed return, we would discuss bonuses as need be.
Sounds good.
Indeed.
We have to discuss amongst ourselves at a later point, but it does sound quite appealing.
Indeed, and I would also have to. I'll need a couple days to go and convince my family to let me access my own gosh darn coffers. She finishes the rest of her martini and just slaps it down, and it's just like, or mixed drink, and it's just like, yep, it'll be fine. I'm sure it's fine. Like I said, just a couple days I'll need. 2 or 3, and it shouldn't be that much of an issue. Right, Kay? And she kind of slaps Kay on the shoulder, and Kay sort of, like, gently grabs her hand and puts it back down on the counter, or, like, off her shoulder, and is just like, please don't touch me, dear. Of course. Yeah. Oh, some folks,
Yes.
huh?
Yeah, so I would also need maybe a day or two to get sorted out so I can leave.
Kay suddenly straightens up a little bit, and puts a couple fingers to her temple and sort of closes her eyes for a minute, nods her head, grimaces significantly. Breathes out a irritated sigh and nods her head again. Thank you. That'll be all. Execute by the end of the day. Figure out next steps. Secure a vessel. Send necessary letters of inquiry. All right, everybody. So, I just learned a couple concerning things. Would you like to hear them?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Excellent. Do you have a room that we can go to? If I'm going to be working with you folks again, we will need to discuss this in private. Pardon my saying, and there is a, like, small morning crowd in, but not a lot of people. Mostly folks just eating some eggs or, like, some breakfast stuff, or people who, have rooms coming out. She says, let's head back to one of your rooms so that we can discuss this in private. Anna, you are gonna stay right here while I go and talk to these wonderful folks.
Before we do that, you see Siegfried is sad because his crab spit in his drink.
Oh no! The crab bubbled off into your drink.
Yep. Now Siegfried's just sad.
Oh.
Mhm.
Did you name the crab?
Huh?
Was the crab named at any point?
Yeah, what's
Oh.
the crap named?
He has to earn a name.
I
Is
see.
there anything? So far, he's just spit it in your drink.
Now, he cleaned off blood before.
You're not wrong.
So, you all and take Kay back to one of your rooms. Shylvie is sort of still in her bed. And so you all decide to go to one of the other rooms. And you all begin to discuss, or you listen to Kay as she closes the door and latches it behind you all. She looks around the room. You see her trace a few shapes in the air by the window and by the door. She looks around, listens for a moment, looks at you all, and says, "All right, folks.
Yes.
One sec, I'm trying to find the information that I... Oh, did I not send... Oh, where is her name? One sec. I apologize for the delay. This is gonna be a whole thing. Oh yeah, it's on the Excel doc. One sec. I don't know why I didn't put it in my DM notes. That's kind of awkward. But she indicates to you all, so you will all continue to call me Kay, but in the interest of our continued cooperation, and so that you may all put a name to the face that you are seeing here, my name, or one of my names, is Cross. K-R-A-S. Cross.
Okay.
So, that said, a less formal report is definitely needed here on account of my own concern at the situation. So, I was just told by my associate who went to go interrogate the Deep Scion, this creature, this entity that you all had fought. He had passed on the word to me that the Subsea Kingdom may be in more trouble than they've been letting on in the past couple months. Apparently, some new aquatic demon entity has begun sending its minions to kidnap, kill, and convert some of their citizens.
Oh, that must be
So that's why.
Yes. Apparently, this Deep Scion originated from the Slumbering One's Trench, a location held sacred by the people of the Subsea Kingdom, as supposedly the place where their god creature resides. The Scion called the demon that spawned it Nuachgrak. I don't know how to spell that. I will find out later. But supposedly it is feeding off the slumbering form of the divine Leviathan and budding, creating various chaos spawn as it feeds. This, if you could not all tell by my drop in professionalism, is rather concerning.
Very
To
concerning.
say the least. Now, I don't know if you all are quite ready to help me with such an assignment. I will have to go launch my own personal investigation, and I will do that over the course of the next, say, 2 weeks. After those 2 weeks are done, I will, or it'll be roughly 2 weeks. It depends on how long it takes me to gain access to the Slumbering One's Trench. The people of the Subsea Kingdom are extremely protective of it, but I have my ways. So I would like to go investigate this immediately, but I would like you all to be available in about 2 weeks. I will need you all for an assignment. The gold will, of course, come. I don't know if it's going to be as much as this time, but I will personally pay you an appropriate value based on what I determine is the danger of the mission. You all were put in a rather dangerous situation outside of my expected knowledge, and I admit I am a little embarrassed that my reconnaissance was not as of high quality as it typically is. Please do not let my lack of telling you of the nature of these creatures due to my lack of knowledge of them, do not let it speak poorly of my standard efforts. I was, if I'm being honest, a little excited to get you all into the fold here. I do see potential in you all, and honestly, I'm excited to continue working with you. Sorry, I keep fading in and out of the accent, by the way, guys, as a side note.
I'm thinking like she's fading in and out of the accent too, because like whenever she's like distressed,
She
tends to
always
fade
has the
out of
accent. I just tend to fall out of it. Sorry. So
Then would ask, why us?
I just have a eye for these things, as I've said. I can't fully explain it, but you folks are going to make changes. Good ones, I get the feeling. I can't tell you why. I can't tell you how I am thinking of this, but I just have an eye for it.
Okay. Also, so I'm guessing you
Also,
don't...
nobody that I know knows you. At least not on a personal level. So that actually helps a lot.
I'm guessing you don't want us to go on this haphazard adventure to the volcanic island with the lava beast with the little mist.
It is technically within the time frame that I will personally need you, and I know you are all of the adventurer mercenary persuasion, so it's not like I can really stop you. Although if you were to die on this mission, I would be very, very disappointed, to say the least. As you can tell, I do not really trust Anna to make safe decisions, although the woman has made enough coin to begin... She... Stay on her good side. She is more influential than she lets on. She is a member of the family that I personally work for. I am not as afraid of the heads of the family, save for one, as I am of this woman. She is, I would say, greedy and a little too blinded by the scent of coin to make good decisions.
So she's reckless.
Reckless is a good word. Alright. Guys, I'm gonna just pause the recording for 1 sec here.
No.
Alright. Okay, so Shylvie actually enters the room. Shylvie, you heard them open the door for a moment, and you noticed that your stomach ache was beginning to sort of go down, so you went to the adjacent room, and you saw them all with Kay, and Kay was rapidly discussing with them something, and they seem to be a little bit less professional, one might say, than they have been so far. Or
Alright,
she
so
has
which
been
one
so
of you horny motherfuckers has been hitting on her?
Oh, no, nothing like that. Also, she's a dragon lady, not Zen type.
So, she sees Shylvie come in and mentions, Oh, come here, come here. I thought oh, I'm sorry, wait a minute. Shylvie, you go to open the door. It's locked. She's like, huh? And then she, like, looks at the door for a moment, realizes, oh, okay. And she goes and opens the door for you, and then, as I described, she seems less professional, but she, you know, her professional air is sort of lowered for a minute. And she mentions, one of my names is Cross. I was telling these others, for the sake of, our continuing work relationship. The others have been offered a week and a half or ish long quest by the woman that you saved, Anna. And, sorry. Seemed to have something in my throat there for a moment. I keep dropping the accent so hard. Anyways. Yes, I was telling them all that... And then, guys, she says the thing that was just said. Basically, Subsea Kingdom, the creatures that you found got interrogated. The person who interrogated them just telepathically told Kay what the deal was. And basically, it's there's a new demon entity near the Subsea Kingdom, residing in the Slumbering One's Trench, a location held sacred by the people of the Subsea Kingdom. It's supposedly where their god creature resides. The new demon is called Nulgrak, and is supposedly feeding off the stumbling form of this divine leviathan and budding, creating various chaos spawn as it feeds. And so that is the explanation that you received from K, or Cross, of where those creatures came from. She has expressed concern, or she has expressed embarrassment that she did not fully understand what she was sending you guys into, and was just like, I apologize, and don't let that speak to how I typically, how well I typically do my job. She indicates that she's gonna probably have to go on about a 2-week-long journey to the Subsea Kingdom in order to launch a proper investigation, because this could be extremely dangerous. And so she wants you guys to be available in 2 weeks. To
if we come back in time from with On.
Yes, and it is Anne Harday.
You're going to the Subsea Kingdom.
Kay is speaking. Use the accent. Okay, sorry. Yes. Yes, indeed. I'll be heading there for a few days. But of course, getting set up for that trip and getting all of the forms in order, or establishing a route in which I don't need the forms in order. You know, these sorts of things take time. 2 weeks is plenty of time for me, but I may need to act accordingly depending on the information I find. But yes, I am going to the Subsea Kingdom. Pardon my asking, but do you have family there, or are you familiar with the area?
And I shapeshift into my ASO form.
Oh, yes, of course. That's... I see.
Have not been there in several hundred years, though.
And she's taken aback a little bit.
We live a long time.
Too.
You old as hell.
You old as hell.
I see.
We don't die unless we go splat, so don't be so surprised.
I'm still surprised. Wait, what?
Indeed. That is interesting.
Keep in mind, I'm the only one who actually knows your actual...
No, we've seen it before.
No,
Well, now you've all seen it.
Oh, yeah?
A couple of you had already seen it.
Yeah, not all of us have.
It's out of the bag, though.
When we were at the pet store. When we went to the pet store, you went Asayo.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
that's true.
Oh, you're right.
Anyways, and K indicates hundreds. That's interesting. Have you been keeping up to date with their state? Because I may wish to, just as a courtesy, I may wish to speak with you before I actually leave about some things that you may have missed that may not have made news up on the surface.
Unfortunately, no. I've been living on this island for almost 200.
I see.
Up in
That's
those forests
interesting.
up there. I was kidnapped when I still held the form of a jellyfish.
Ah,
You.
When I was very, very tiny. And I haven't been there since. I would like to go back, just to learn what it's like.
my
I've missed.
dear, are you a religious sort?
Not particularly, but the ones that I do follow tend to be of the Fae rather than of the
Of the sea.
ocean folk.
The I have the name. Excuse my lack of preparation. She has to reference the.
Don't worry about it. I'll be taking notes.
I definitely named it. Where is its name? Is it in here? Where the hell is its name? Did I not write its name in the mega notes? Alright, I'll give you the proper details later, off camera. For
Yeah.
now, the Subsea Kingdom has had a difficult time. You said it's been how long?
I don't know the exact number, but somewhere around 300-400 years.
I see. Yes, I figure time could get a little ambiguous after a certain point, eh?
650 years. It's a long time.
Indeed. Okay, alright. Oh, wow. You missed a lot. Are you familiar with, so do you all know about the sea serpents that, attacked the original settlers when they had first established Arcanautus? Or I suppose at that point they weren't even really the settlers. It was Arcanautus at that point. They just hadn't actually come to that agreement with the native sea folk in the surrounding waters quite yet. Are you all familiar with this? It happened about 200 years ago.
I have a small understanding.
I have heard
Sword.
I got a few pieces of news here and there.
Well, the people of the Subsea Kingdom had felt threatened by the encroaching land dwellers on their area of the sea. This was before the trade agreements of our modern age had been established, so there was a little bit more open hostility, more attacks on vessels, on shoreline villages, and indeed some poisonings of the people of the Subsea Kingdom as well, to certain extents. Although the true nature of the casualties and the intended attacks is ambiguous due to political manipulations of historical records, I do know that this sea monster that had attacked Arcanautus was indeed quite real. This is you, Leon,
Yes.
the knight captain. His father, or was it grandfather? His grandfather had helped fight this creature. Yes, and so his family had been more elevated in the eyes of the Saltmeyer family in particular, who were obviously, as you know, in charge of the Sky Knights.
Yes.
And so they had elevated his family to higher commands within the Sky Knight Order. Your grandfather, the Knight Captain's grandfather, had participated in a battle with what was, I believe the records indicate, 1,000-foot plus serpent that had decimated the shores, sending tidal waves. Storms followed in its wake as it traveled around the islands. It was, frankly, a very terrifying time to be alive, from what I've heard. Now, I was not alive during this time, but the ancestors in my order were. They kept very good records of this date. The people of the Subsea Kingdom worship the slumbering serpent. They revere it above all else. Even more over the past years, have the sects dedicated to its specific worship and attempts to awaken it have become more active, to say the least. Originally, the leadership of the Subsea Kingdom had been fine with accepting the, guidance and the typical role that gods play in a civilization. Moral grounding, granting power to the clerics of their orders, granting protection in exchange for prayer, these sorts of things. And this was fine for so long, until this day, where the head priests of the Church of the Slumbering Serpent, they had made a breakthrough with their god, and called upon an avatar of said deity to exact vengeance upon the land dwellers who had been so voraciously attacking their people. The accuracy of the claims that we had been attacking their people are ambiguous, but it is generally accepted amongst the people of my order that we had something coming, but probably not to the extent of a giant sea monster almost destroying the island. And so the Sky Knights and various bands of adventurers, mercenaries, and the Salt Guard, attacking from the shore with what we now use as the anti-Diregull ballistas. Those had been put in fixed also long ago as anti-sea monster measures. Relics of the past, if anything. So, Shylvie, I believe it was, correct? The people of the Subsea Kingdom are heavily influenced by this slumbering serpent now. The leadership has become less passive in their worship, and it has become more of a standard religion than an optional one. The teachings are not inherently bad, morally bankrupt, not inherently, but they do indicate that the islands need to one day be reclaimed. Now, if this is done through political maneuverings, that would be optimal. If it is done through another sea monster attack, especially if a demon is influencing their god in some way, I will need to put things into motion to deal with that. So, Shylvie, now, and I hate to say this, might not be a good time. Were you saying something?
Who?
Is Shylvie
Sure.
trying to say something?
This is hard news to come to terms with.
Indeed. The peoples are living their standard lives and living, working, surviving as they always have, but as a culture they have continually begun drifting into the reliance upon this entity for aid, and supposedly in the last 100 years guidance, as the slumbering beast appears to be dreaming now, and the priests are interpreting these dreams, in my opinion, how they see fit, although perhaps their god is in fact giving them orders. I am not aware of the truth of this matter. It is concerning either way, and especially now with word of demons coming from its trenches, I am, quite frankly, slightly terrified. And you all don't know me super well, but for me to be scared of something indicates that it may be an
Very
island-wide
dangerous.
threat. Sorry?
No, just very dangerous.
Very, very dangerous, to say the least. Era-altering is a good way to phrase it. We have the capabilities of fighting off another sea monster. The Saltmeyer family in particular, the patron of the family, has a bit of an obsession with anti-sea monster investments, and he has discovered such an order to specifically take care of them. Leon, you have no idea what she's talking about. There is no anti-sea monster guard that you are aware of, so
Yeah,
it might
I
just
see.
be something that only she knows about or is not common knowledge.
Yeah.
But if it is the entity itself, or a demon who has leached the power of a god, well, we cannot fight such a thing. No one can.
No, we cannot.
So, 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks before I return from my trip. I'll most likely be leaving tomorrow in the afternoon. I will, Shylvie, if we need to discuss more, I will have somebody stop by and they can message me to stop by before I leave, alright? I feel like I owe you this much, given the tale that you all, or that Anna told me that you all had some issues, and I heard you came in absolutely covered in blood. Much of it your own, but some of it not.
Mostly
That
ours.
is correct.
I'd say the other people's, those two guards were gushing.
Ugh. That's unfortunate.
We did the best we could.
Of
to
course. I could
take
never
care of
ask more of you. And, again, if I had known the situation... Listen, if any of you ever need... if I made a mistake in my reconnaissance for this mission that I sent you all on, I will safely say, and out of the kindness of my heart and a spot of embarrassment on my end, if any of you need to find out something, let me know. If you see a figure wearing this ring, and she shows you the signet ring that she bears, which has sort of a wave pattern, but the wave has claws. It's a very simple pattern, but that is what you get the gist of it. Her ring is gold with black embossing for the pattern. She indicates that person will be able to contact me. Usually there is one that slinks around in the various bars, or you can always find one in the noble district outside the gates of the noble housing. So,
Okay.
that's all said. Do any of you have any questions, or shall we all depart for me to go file a bunch of paperwork and also contact people, and for you all to go about your day and enjoy the coin that you have just received?
First things first, we have to talk to Anna about this crazy lava fest.
To who?
Anna.
Of course. If you're going to go with her, be careful. She is insane. In my personal, professional opinion.
She's insane in my professional opinion.
Yes.
I don't doubt that whatsoever.
Indeed. I don't know why in the world these creatures kidnapped her in particular.
I think they were just unlucky.
Perhaps unlucky they were. That is interesting. Yes, perhaps they were just unlucky.
Well,
Do you have any questions of me?
Nope.
The only, so in regards to knowledge, you know what? No, I'll save this for later. Never mind.
If you need something to be, if information exists in the world that you do not have, I can get it for you. Well, most 90% of information in the world I can get for you.
I have one interest and one interest only, and that is the rarest and the mightiest of weapons and armor. Have you found any information about something very interesting? Or
If you have
rare?
100,000 gold, I can get you one of the greatest weapons of Arcanautus. That said, it is 100,000 gold. So,
Well, writing that down.
yes.
Glenn has a new goal.
Yeah.
Money.
That one is for free because I get the feeling we will not be discussing that until a very far future moment.
Ha ha ha.
Alright, everybody. I'm going to go grab another drink, and then I'm going to go to work. And she heads off.
You go along with your work.
Indeed. You all see, as you all exit, you see at the bar, Kay is talking with Anna, trying to get her to leave. And meanwhile, Anna is getting her to wait and just like, no, hold on. I need to talk to... There they are. Hello, my wonderful compatriots. So, have you all had time to discuss? Or do you need a little bit longer?
So we talked.
I've had time to ponder my reasons for embarking on this quest.
Eh?
And having found out knowledge that I'm not quite sure I wanted to know.
Eh? Sorry, checking my mic.
But yes. But I've been around flowers a decent time. Maybe I could help.
Oh, do tell. Question, Shylvie, are you in your SAO form or did you return?
I'm still in ISO form, so I'm
ISO.
probably unnerving her as well.
Also, is the flower visible?
Yes, the one growing out of my head.
She can smell it. And she can see it. And she says, Ho, ho, ho? What, pray tell, is that, by the way? Just out of professional curiosity. Kay is just like, stop harassing them. We really should go. No, give me a minute. Dear, what is that?
I'm not entirely sure. All that I know is that it can channel my singing into magic. And
Where can I get
also-
one?
well, you'd have to make a pretty... You'd have to, you would likely have to find a fey creature and, sell
Ooh,
your
you're
soul
saying
for
it's
it.
enchanted by a fae? Ooh, okay. Well, there are tales of fae off in the Ascending Menagerie. I know that's a very magical place, and tales of fae have reached my ears.
That may
if
or
I
may
could
not
maybe...
be where I traveled from.
Eh? Say again.
That may or may not be where I traveled from. Although I don't recommend going there. It's
Can you
honestly quite nasty if you don't know the right way to travel.
Oh, I know the best way to travel, and that's quickly. And
I
with
can
purpose.
assure you that will not work one bit.
Why do you say that, perchance?
Let's just say, quickly will get you run through at least 15 death traps and at least 17 displacer beasts. None of which are exactly pleasant to run into.
I see. What if I fly in?
Well,
She's a thinker.
You can see everybody who's looking at her right now. You all see Kay behind her. Eyes are wide, and she's like got a hand on her face, like, just like, oh my god. And you see Anna has a finger to her lip and is just... Eyes are also wide, but sparking with inspiration as she is smiling and glancing up at... The eyes are completely transfixed on that flower on top of Shylvie's head.
Shylvie, getting uncomfortable, slurps it down into her head
Oh, that's so gross sounding.
Oh,
with a.
darn.
And also she explains, well, if it's magic, it's probably going to if you plan to use magic, it will probably get defused by someone suspicious of you, and if it's non-magical, they'll probably try to blow it up or cause a hallucination and you will crash. Both ways are pretty dangerous.
It sounds like I'll need equipment for this trip. It sounds like some capital needs to be invested for me to start this venture. Oh,
it
thank you
sounds
very
like
much,
this is a
Shylvie.
fruitless mission, and a human will be killed. You will die. It is as simple as that.
Go
And she is
ahead.
now. And Shylvie turns back into half-elf woman form, turns heel, and walks away. Very, very angrily.
Shylvie, would you say this is either persuasion or intimidation?
Persuasion.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
Yep, alright. Plus 6.
18.
The spark in her eyes is still there, but her smile sort of turns into a straight-faced pout. And she says, "Humph. Fine, just the volcano then." Well,
So
I'll talk to you all. If I was to send a message for us to all meet up, would I send it here?
wait, I need to talk to her about the volcano stuff.
Oh, do tell, friend. I'm here to answer questions and establish this setup.
So, there's a couple. So, it's lucky that the volcano is where it is because I need to make a stop on the way there. It's
Oh.
right next to the area, and it won't take long. It's pretty much at the opposite side. It's still in this main
If
island,
it
but it's
takes
on
a day, I'm docking pay.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm willing. I'll bite it. Here's the thing, though. Do you know of? You seem really fixated on these volcano flowers. Is there any
Beautiful.
other plant or creature that that is another option that doesn't include going on a volcano island that may or may not be erupting?
Absolutely not. People demand the rarest things for the highest price, you see. Any good item. Listen. The higher the odds are that the person harvesting it is going to die while getting it, the higher the price you can charge people for it. It's a very basic concept, my friend.
So who's going to be the gatherer in this situation?
I mean, I don't want to die.
So are you going to hire other people to pick the flowers? Because we were supposed to be bodyguards, not florists. We're supposed to keep you safe.
Oh, I suppose you could stay on the ship with me. But that'll definitely reflect on your bonuses at the end of the mission. Also, if I'm being honest, my best guards just died recently, and they would have been the ones I would have sent to gather it, so I'm at a bit of a loss.
I turn to look at the other. Can you guys just let me know, like thumbs up, thumbs down, in regards to what's going on?
Shylvie, did you hear the, actual details of what this mission that Anna is proposing is?
Huh?
Oh, whoops. I wasn't looking at the Discord chat, so you left and you just got back.
Yep.
Uh-oh. I was not keeping track of what you didn't hear. Anna was explaining that you guys were going to be the ones who were going to pick a flower off a volcanic island for her. And she was going to pay you guys for that trip. It'd take about a week and a half. You'd be home before you had to do something before you had to talk to Kay again. About 5 days there, 5 days back.
So yeah, I was essentially asking everyone if they still are interested in doing it because especially if we're supposed to be the ones to gather it, it's extremely dangerous. I will say this though, no matter what we say, if we do say we're gonna do it, I will say if the volcano's erupting, we're gonna call it off.
Well, that seems like an extremely... no, wait, you're not saying that out loud, or...
I'm going to say that out loud if we agree to it. If the volcano's erupting, we'll have to wait till it's not erupting. Otherwise, we're just running to our deaths. And that's something we agreed upon while we took that break earlier. So.
Okay.
But yeah, so Zen's gonna look at all you guys and a sort of look like, well, what do you guys think, type of thing.
Okay. So, Leon, what's your response? Leon?
My mic was off.
Yep.
That was my fault.
The whole time. I was looking at the Discord and I'm just like, I haven't heard from him in a while.
I was trying to speak for a while now. I was like, wait, what?
Anyways, so what's your opinion?
So I'm just like, Yeah, I also think it would be very, very risky if it does start erupting. So, I think postponing it if it does start erupting would be best. If not, that's fine.
Okay. What about Sig? I know Sig replies in thumbs up and thumbs down.
He's gonna give a thumbs down.
Hmm.
To what part? Mine or Zen's?
He was responding
Zen.
to Zen.
Yeah.
Shylvie.
Hmm. I will agree with my compatriots on this one. I
Are you
would
Oh.
rather avoid an eruption, to say the
All right, so you all agreed on that point. Are you go? Anna is waiting anxiously. Kay has her hand on her arm and is just like, "We have to leave, Anna. Come
Okay.
on."
So before
And Anna's
she
like,
leaves-
"No, wait, guys,
Yeah.
are we gonna
with
go on a
her.
volcano adventure and get some really, really expensive flowers to make awesome, mass-produced, really expensive soap?"
So I'll turn to anyone.
Wait, that is your reason?
What? Yes, of course.
He is baffled.
That is
Yeah.
your reason for this potential death trip?
Yes, of course. I just explained to you the economics of risk of death versus profit.
She
But
did.
so?
My apologies for overestimating a human's.
I'm crying.
We don't
My
need-
apologies for overestimating a human's consideration for one's life.
We don't need
He
racism.
storms off very, very pissed off.
Shylvie
Zen's
has
fine.
left the building. Or,
He doesn't appreciate.
Shylvie has
back to
left the
their
building and that adventure.
yep. Leon,
Um,
Siegfried, Zen. She's looking at you all like, I mean, we could do it with 3, I suppose?
So I'll say we'll go on the trip, but if the volcano's erupting, we're not getting anywhere near the island. If it
Oh. Does it matter that your friend doesn't want to come? I
Well,
don't want to
obviously,
split you all up.
I'm gonna see if I can try to get him back into this, so with Zen's point of view with it. Is that okay?
So what now? All right, what's this stipulation that you keep mentioning?
one, we need to make a stop.
That I agree with, although I already said my part of it. If it takes more than a day, I'm not paying you for the day.
That's fine.
That's fine.
That's perfectly reasonable.
That'll count
And
as personal time.
If
That's
two,
fine.
if the volcano's erupting, or if there's a lava monster,
Now,
Those
I
are
can
the-
almost guarantee there's gonna be a lava monster, so I'm just saying.
if we see a lava monster slash if the volcano's erupting,
Whatever
turn
we
back.
have, we're leaving with.
we turn back.
If
But-
if we have any on us, we're leaving with whatever we have on us.
Safety first. Our lives are just as even in my opinion even more important than your plants.
But
So Siegfried's in the back, just like questioning. Soap?
yes,
Just like wondering.
yes. Here, I actually. Oh nope, never mind. All of my samples got stolen. Damn it.
So Zen walks up, sticks his hand out as if to shake hands and says, "Is that an agreement?"
Oh, my dear friends. You have no sense of adventure.
We have adventure. We just don't have a sense of dying.
We have a sense of life. We feel. Plus, if we live longer, that means more adventures.
And more soap.
If I can't get the flowers, it's not worth the trip. I'll find a way to
say-
do it myself. And she kind of disgruntledly turns towards Kay and like gets ready to walk away.
Well then,
Yeesh.
No one can say I didn't try, guys. I tried.
As they are heading
both
out, Kay lets go of her arm, but Anna stops in the doorway for just a second and looks over her shoulder at you guys. She pauses.
She's trying to like. I basically say,
A guilt
We have-
trip?
I stick my finger out. I stick out 3 fingers.
3 fingers?
Make a stop. No volcano. No lava monster. And I stick my hand out to shake it, as if I'm gonna shake again.
And she holds up one finger and says, "There's definitely gonna be a lava monster, but we'll make that stop. We can avoid the lava monster if you want. We still need to get the flowers, though."
If we can get some, that would still be profit for you.
Well, I need a certain amount, otherwise I won't get enough of a return on investment.
Makes sense.
Well, I guess that's no deal then.
Fine, fine.
If you have anything non-lava included, let us know.
You know, I actually hear that there's this magical flower that you can find off on the Ascending Menagerie, and I was looking for a couple of folks to join me on a skyship.
Excuse me?
Skyship.
Yes.
Where is that on the map?
There isn't one on the map. You have
I
no
see.
idea what she's talking about.
I see. Zen is interested in the Fae portion of it, but since Shylvie just went on a tirade about it, he's like, yeah, keep us in the loop.
Zen, Leon, and Siegfried, all of you have lived on this island for at least a little bit. You know that the Ascending Menagerie is amazingly dangerous. It is the most magical part of the forest, and it is ruled over by several Fae entity. I say ruled, but it's more like a sort of playground of sorts. It is the most dangerous and exotic creatures that exist on the island originated from the Ascending Menagerie.
I see. I still say what I say, but I have a different intention when I say it now.
Uh-huh.
Keep us in the loop.
And she pirouettes around, waves to you all, and says, "All right, perhaps we'll meet on the trade routes again someday." And she exits. As she exits and the door closes behind her, you hear a massive exhale from behind you all.
Anyway,
Do you guys know who that was?
I have an idea.
Crazy noble merchant.
That
loves
was
rock.
Anna Saltmeyer.
Oh, that explains it. She owns the tower that you work at.
She's the type that I work at.
Yeah, that's what I was
Uh-huh.
pointing at. I was talking about.
Yeah, so
Not her so much as her family.
yes.
Although you're not sure.
Damn.
Neat. We just saved her from fish monsters. We should have got paid more.
They secured the bag.
I think how much we got paid for was definitely a lot better than what they thought. I'm pretty sure if they knew about the monsters, I'm pretty sure we would have gotten paid more.
Then why didn't we?
We probably wouldn't have gotten the job if they had known what kind of monster were
You're not wrong.
protecting them.
They made that very clear that was the case. But
Yeah,
so-
Kay had apologized for her lack of proper recon.
So since that fell through the hole, do you guys still want to take a ship down to the coast? I'm asking you guys. Because it's going to take us too long to walk there and back.
Huh.
Siegfried,
What are you
gonna
guys
shake his
going
head
down the
no.
coast for?
We heard that there's a hermit there that can help us in acquiring some elementals to use for recreational purposes.
Elementals for recreational purposes. Now that seems a little. What are you thinking? Because I mean, it's a. I'm not really willing to exactly rent out my ship again, given its current condition. But I could talk around and see if anybody else is willing to get hired on to bring you guys down. Although I will say, not a lot of folks are coming in and out from what I've heard. But I still got quite a few actually, sailors coming in and drinking their woes away. So, yeah, if you want me to look around, I could do so. See if I hear anything by the end of the day.
Wait, Hog, I have a question.
What's up?
If a wind elementalist is used on Astrios, would that increase his fly speed or no? Or like something.
It's kind of a very specific.
Or like, would something help
maybe.
increase?
I mean, is that? I don't know.
I kind of want to have boost Astrios. Oh yeah, by the way, Astrios now has the hat.
Yeah.
Which hat? Remind me.
It was I think, what was it again that we got him?
The one with the sailor uniform?
Yeah. It was a sailor hat type of thing.
Cool. Strap to keep it on his head.
Yeah.
Caw, he says. Like a sailor.
To answer Wave, I'd be like, I'd like to use it to help me acquire more rare minerals in order for equipment, as well as potentially helping me keep my forge lit.
Huh. I see.
I also enjoy the company of spirits, and elementals sort of fall into that category.
I see. Best of luck to you, then. I knew an Earth Ganassi back in my wrestling days who was very attuned with that sort of thing, but sadly he is past now. But I have a passing understanding of what you're talking about here. Best of luck to you in your quest, my friend. I don't really have any leads for you, sadly.
How long would it take us to walk there and back?
I mean, it's a bit of a walk, and especially given the nature of the island. So I'm not great with distances. If you kept up a marching pace along the coastline, let me just look up travel times real quick.
We might be able to ask Deb if she has any idea how we can get there.
You guys haven't seen Deb in a while.
Yeah.
It's been like a day. We haven't seen her in a day.
In a couple sessions, I should say. My bad.
But yeah, Deb's we might know a way to get there fast. Oh, and if it is a forest, I can help us traverse faster.
Oh, that's true. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so normal pace is 24 miles in a day, 18 miles if you're going as slow and use stealth. I'd say, given the nature of the terrain, yeah, probably the same amount of time it would have taken for a ship to go past it. So probably like 4 or 5 days.
Oh, so then why don't we just do that? We can
It's
like
okay.
Play.
While it isn't the Ascending Menagerie, the island, the uncivilized segments of the island are still home to some various unique, potentially dangerous creatures you've all heard. Now, you guys might be able to handle it, given your adventuring proclivities. I just wanted to let you know that that is a thing.
Are there any owl bears?
There might be owlbears, who knows?
You better be careful. Those are endangered species.
Not on this island.
Yeah.
Are they sentient on this island?
Oh, hush. All right, and enough meta stuff from other games.
Okay, so if you guys are, so is it? Is it safer to take? Would it be safer to go by ship? We can. I mean,
Safer and
I don't-
slightly faster.
Siegfried is not down with boats right now.
that's a good point. We did almost get sunk. Well, if you guys are fine with it, we can just try to head down. We can see if we can gather some. Like I said before, I would extra hand would be cool, and so maybe Deb could help us out with this one. She probably has more experience when it comes to traveling around.
Are we paying her?
I mean, I think she might be interested in getting an elemental, so that might be worth enough.
And she was only interested in gold.
Not necessarily. If it's useful, we can. It's best to ask than rather than to assume. What do you guys think?
Shylvie, where are you currently?
Right. Oh,
Guys, I have to
yeah.
head out I have to head out now.
For the night?
Yeah, family time, and that I did not know was gonna happen.
Okay. Leon, you hear the flapping of wings overhead, and head out of the tavern. You see Gabriel, flying on his Pegasus, and he lands down next to you and says, Leon, I heard that you were involved with what happened yesterday down in the warehouse district.
Yes, I was.
Would you mind coming with me? We gotta talk.
Okay, yes, sir.
Of course. Hop on. Or you can take Astrios if you'd like.
I'll take Astrios. Let me talk to my friends. Let me give my friends a second. Let me tell my friends in a second. Or let me tell my friend. I can't speak.
It's
Let me
all
tell my
good.
friends. Okay. When he plays away, I'm like, guys, I'm gonna have to head out. Maybe more paperwork. Maybe you're gonna have to explain. Maybe you're gonna have to cover up for you guys. Have fun.
Cover up. We didn't do
You
anything
just see
wrong.
Astrios come in and I just get on and just fly away.
We did nothing wrong.
All
Cover
right.
up for what?
Leon has left. Leon, you're good to go with your fam, okay? All right, off he goes. Shylvie, where are you?
Well, I basically walked past Crasher Wave a while ago, pretty pissed off.
Did you go back to your room, or did you go out into the city?
Back to room.
Okay. Okay. Siegfried, Zen, will you be collecting Shylvie at any point to discuss the potential trip to down the coast?
We can. I mean, yeah, I guess. Don't want to leave them out of the loop.
You've updated Leon on the plan, at least as far as like contacting Deborah and stuff. Now, Shylvie, did you hear all of that?
No, not super well.
Okay, so just explain Zen again what the plan is.
So it'll take us essentially the same amount of time to traverse the shores to get to the place I want to go as it would with boat. It'll take slightly more.
Well, no, I was saying it would take as long as the trip to the volcano island would have with a ship. With a ship, it'll take one less day.
Yeah, no, that's.
Or actually, you can travel the whole time if you have a night crew, so never mind, it'd take half the time.
Okay, if we traveled there and back on foot, will we be able to get back in time to meet up with Kay?
Yeah, it'd take about a week. It'd take like a week and a half for this trip, so yeah, you'd be fine.
Yeah, so time-wise, that's the deal. Apparently, there can be some creatures that could be trouble, but as long as we play it safe and stay towards the shore, if anything bad happens, we can always flee and try again some other time.
And the purpose of the trip was to...
the purpose of the trip was I got a tip from the pet store owner. You should go and get your otter, by the way. That there is a hermit that lives at the southern part of this island that works with elementals and may be able to help us acquire or purchase elementals from said person to handle. So apparently they might not be quite useful for combat purposes, but
You
for
recall the
recreational
phrase
ones.
forging contracts.
Forging contracts, yeah. So I'm personally interested in forging a contract with potentially an earth elemental to help me locate rare minerals in order for my forging, and potentially a fire one if possible for obviously guessing forging. Uh, Leon seems a little bit interested in a wind one to see if it can aid his flight, and so on and so forth. It's more of a seeing if we can appeal to this person to help us do this. That's my goal for it, and we could probably earn some coin on the way by gathering plants and harvesting from creatures. So it should be, and if anything else, we might be able to forge said contract. So it should be worth it.
So long as I don't have to speak another word to that red-haired demon, I will be fine.
Whatever. She was crazy. You
It is not the fact that she is crazy. I'm used to that. I've lived with Faye. What I am worried about is her complete disregard for our lives.
Hey, Ed, when he says that about the Fae, Halo react.
What?
Do you remember?
I'm sorry, Halo?
The Fae spirit.
Oh, you never updated me on that, buddy. You never told me the details of your But yeah, Zen's blade quivers in its sheath as Shylvie speaks for a moment.
Calm down. I turn to it and say, calm down, I'm married to one.
Would you? I guess you would be able to see it too.
Yeah.
Would we also touch since with the whole class stuff with the Fae things? Would you also be able to see them?
Probably.
Yeah.
They're married
Champ,
to a Fae creature.
Describe exactly what you're describing, because I don't remember you and me talking about this.
I mean, I described it to you when we first started. We haven't really touched base about it before. It's essentially so the whole Feyblade thing is making contracts with Fey spirits, which are they're traditionally like the ones that someone makes into an animal companion. So the spirit, or the ones that are summoned when people
Okay.
So it's making a more firm and spiritual contract with one of them.
I have to ask, is it always possessing the sword, or is it a physical entity that exists in the ethereal plane?
It exists. So it essentially possesses the sword. The sword is their physical body, or whatever weapon they're possessing.
Okay, so it is a creature within the sword, essentially.
That's what makes it a sentient weapon.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, it quivers in response to her mention of Faye, and then you say that you're married to one, and it stops cold turkey.
And Zen's like, oh, neat. All right. So yeah, I guess we can work on preparing for this then, and we can get we already decided what we wanted to buy, so we can just say we did that.
All right. So now everybody goes out and spends the money they just earned. We did this out of game, so we don't need to do it now. Siegfried, you buy the multiplier salamander. Zen, you get it. Now is when you would get the sheath for your Feyblade, the custom-made sheath, and something else that you acquire from a trench-coated gentleman who as he walks around the warehouse district, A gentle jingle follows his step. This great half-orc, trench-coated fellow who you buy something from. And Shylvie, you go and acquire your electric otter.
I'll also buy 2 potions just like the others.
And then the potions and the healer's kits and all that stuff. Everybody buys what they told me they buy. A couple folks bought potions, a couple folks bought healer's kits, I believe. I have it in the document for you all, so everybody knows what they have. And we wrote how much everything costed earlier. So that is all set. Shylvie. The otter looks like a sea otter. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with the different types of otter, but there are the river otters, that are like the little kind of weaselly looking brown ones. Sea otters.
Like the size of a dog.
Yeah, sea otters are like the size,
Yeah, I'm familiar with.
So sea otters are kind of
Otters.
their heads are a different color from their bodies. It's got the white head and the blackish brown coat. And on land, it's currently dry. This thing is like mega Pomeranian levels of fluffy. And it's got its little flipper feet, black back feet. And it has a little jagged sort of bony protrusion from the top of its head. That makes like a gentle kind of, if you listen closely, a gentle whirring noise. And it sort of is up on the counter, and the woman, guys, I wrote down her name, but I keep forgetting it. What was her name
Mirua.
again?
Mirua.
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 Yes, Mirua. And Mirua indicates to you, and here you are. This is a playful little one. I'm sure he'll enjoy being with you.
So it's fighting.
And the creature sort of flops down on its side and like rolls slightly towards you. Goes like, So, did you know otters chirp?
Yes, I did.
It
Oh, I
chirps
know.
at you, and it's adorable.
I turn to Mirua and ask if she has a piece of if she has like a piece of jerky or something like that.
Ah, yes, indeed. And she takes out a small jar, with a small glass jar with what appears to be several strips of dried fish jerky. And she hands that off to you, and she says, "Complimentary for your first purchase."
I put a copper piece in her hand anyway.
Thank you, dear. Thank you, dear.
Probably underpaying me, but it was complimentary. Thank you. She takes. Shylvie takes one out and holds it out to it. It
Gets
her...
up on its hind legs and sort of like sways back and forth, looking at it.
Yep, she holds it down right underneath its mouth.
It sort of
and
reaches
she's in
its
her
paws
ISO
out and
form
attempts
for
to.
this.
Sorry?
She's in her ISO form for this, because base form is probably what they should get comfortable with first.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll an animal handling check for me.
Alrighty then. Animal handling.
With advantage, because you are giving it a present.
Yep. Alright. Let's see. Dang it.
It doesn't bark like that, by the way. That was not the otter. Seals bark.
That was
20, natural 20 on my very first one.
Nice. It holds it holds the jerky in your hand, in its hand for a moment, and it sort of kind of tilts its head at you. It grabs the jerky, and it sort of eats half, and then puts half down on the table in front of it, and kind of looks at you. It chirps a little bit,
I
like,
break off half of it, and I break off like half of it and slurp it up into it and slurp it up into my hand and hand the last little half to it.
And it eats it up. It lowers itself off the counter, sort of it kind of rolls on its fuzzy hide. And it is kind of sitting at your feet, just kind of getting up close to you. It hugs you. It hugs your leg a little bit, and then it sort of just settles down next to you.
I pick it up into my arms and just start walking around with it.
It is so fuzzy and unbelievably this is the fuzziest, and so on Earth, this is Earth Prime, the Earth that we all live on. Otters are the fuzziest creatures in existence. In this world, that is still true. It is a wonderful thing to hold. Its skin is very loose, you notice, as you hold it. Sort of like a cat times 20. Like, it sort of, like, almost slips out of your hands until it, like, scrunches up and, like, bundles up into your arm a little bit. Works with you. Did you know that otters can reach every single part of their body because their skin is so loose to clean?
Jeez.
So I looked up a lot of otter facts in preparation for this. I'm not great about preparing certain things, but when it comes to looking up information about otters, boy howdy. Sorry, so you have your electric otter now.
Yep. Alrighty then.
Is he being electrocuted currently?
Nope.
Oh boy, it is time to go through the process of turning it into my familiar.
That doesn't involve killing it, does it?
Oh no, not at all.
Good.
No.
He just kills it right in the shot.
That would be embarrassing for me. I'm just like,
No.
yeah, this cute little thing and all that jazz. Excellent. I get out my sacrificial knife.
Excellent. I fucking eat it.
Oh no. No, anyways, sorry. Where were we? Everybody gets their things. You all meet up in the afternoon after having purchased all your things. Siegfried, what do you do with this multiplier salamander? Because you now have two entities on you.
Put it on my other shoulder.
Cool. The crab wants to eat it, and the lizard wants to eat the crab. It's...
No,
Fight to the death.
It is...
there's a constant battle on my shoulders.
Wait, what?
Now there's a constant battle on my shoulders.
Are you gonna stop them, though? Or are you just going to let the stronger eat the weaker?
Carefully well around Mirua.
I'm sorry. Siegfried, you said?
I'll stop it for now.
Okay. And Mirua would indicate as you acquire the salamander, she would say, remember, don't feed it too much or it will become an unstoppable war machine of death. Just a heads up.
Yes. Siegfried
Okay.
smiles.
Okay, that makes me nervous, but it's not my problem anymore. And she grabs 400 of the gold and files it separately in a bin labeled insurance.
Yes. War machine.
She nervously puts a closed sign on the counter and says, I need to file some things. Okay.
That might be best, given his track record.
Alright, so, based on what everybody, or at least Zen, had said before, did you all want to check in with Deborah?
Yes.
I guess so.
Will you be going to the, whatchamacallit first? The Conflux?
I guess we could. I wanted to ask about the stuff I bought from the thrifty guy anyway.
From the who?
It's addictive.
Zen, you have this thing that keeps tapping or something on your mic.
Oh.
Is there anything you can do about that?
I just moved something. Do you still hear it?
Nope, you're good now. Okay, now try saying that again.
I said, I guess we could check the conflux really quick. I did want to check to see if that bark I bought is addictive.
Sure. Sure. You go ahead and head towards the Coastline Health Complex. You enter. There's the receptionist from the first time you guys went there. She sees you, and she's just like, oh, lovely. Zabek! Zabek, your cronies are here.
Cronies? Wait one moment.
I'm
As she looks at you
terribly
guys.
sorry for what happened last time.
Of course, darling, of course. She continues
was
to
not
file her
my
nails
decision.
and keep her eyes on you.
You just saw me cry.
That reaction warranted.
Rather than waiting for Zebek,
Zabek
I'll
comes
be-
out of his office. Sorry,
Yeah,
you
he
were
came out.
saying, Zen?
I mean, he's already out. Whatever. He came out fast as hell. That's fine.
Yeah. What? Huh? Oh! Oh, she meant you... They're not my crony... Anyways. Hey, what's up?
You have reacted pretty well to, in comparison to how our last meeting went.
Things... I've been... Can you guys hear me? There we go.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
if I start high-pitched, it looks like it doesn't actually register it. Were you guys able to hear me as I was starting to talk then?
No.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't hear.
Interesting. Okay. Maybe I need to adjust my mic. I'll figure it out later. Anyway, actually, you know what? Let me look at OBS. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, no, it's been busy. It's been very busy. Just working on the Chaos Rot research has been occupying a lot of my time. You guys have helped. You guys have caused some issues, but I'd say overall things have been going pretty well. Frankly, I got a good feeling about you folks. Well, most of you, anyway.
Does he look at anyone particular?
He looks
when
at
says-
Siegfried,
Siegfried smiles back.
of
with
course.
his two fighting creatures on his shoulders.
Yeah. Actually, that's funny you mentioned that. Zabek notices the multiplier salamander on his shoulder, and he says, is he supposed to have that?
He
Siegfried nods his head, yes.
Sorry?
He purchased it.
Who was selling it? Well, I hope they filled out the insurance forms.
Oh, they have. They're already worried about him
Oh.
and multiplier salamander.
Oh. Just make sure that you don't feed it too much, or else, you'll have
He's gonna feed it a bunch.
Huh?
He's definitely gonna feed it a bunch.
No.
Siegfried nods his head, yes.
No, but don't, though.
Don't,
Listen,
please.
we just got their populations under control a couple years back. We can't have any more super predators introduced into the ecosystem. Things are already pretty bad.
Siegfried's gonna smile even harder now. Because he said super predator.
I am so... You raise my blood pressure to dangerous levels.
So I asked,
Quick question. Would it be advisable or not advisable to stick it in the ascending menagerie?
What? Excuse me? What do you mean? The salamander?
Yes, the salamander.
Probably
Magical
bad.
super predator.
Unless
It
it
would
gets...
either be
Okay,
dead
so...
or it would become an unstoppable monster.
That is exactly what I was about to say, actually. Either it
Siegfried's
would
gonna look
die
at,
almost
Shylvie
instantly,
now.
or it would become an unstoppable... Basically a tiny dragon. Or a big dragon, depending on how much it eats and what it eats.
Yes.
so I cut in between.
So now Siegfried's just shaking with excitement now. He's just...
Oh my god. Were you guys here for something?
Yes.
Besides
three
terrifying me as usual?
questions. One, is Deborah here?
Yes! Man, she looks rough.
Awesome.
Pardon my saying.
We'll need to talk with her. Two, is this addictive? And he pulls out the bark.
Huh. Oh, shit, man. I didn't know you were carrying... Oh, no, it ain't in my professional opinion, it is not addictive in a chemical manner, but man... I have gotten so many research and he notices the secretary is, like, looking at him eyes wide, and he lowers his voice and is like, I've gotten so many fucking research papers done on that shit. It's so...
Nice.
Yeah.
Free Adderall. Nice.
Depending... So, out of game, yeah, basically Adderall.
I thought it was gonna be speed.
It's a mix.
And then third question. We're planning on a trip down to the southern part of the island. Is there anything there that interests you and/or that? Yeah.
Well, actually, if you could harvest some of the aquatic species along the coast, if you could grab 3 from different segments of the coast as you get further down and sort of, here, I think I have an extra. And he hands you a map, which is this map that you all are looking at currently. He says, just 3 points along the coast, if you could collect either samples of fish or aquatic wildlife, it doesn't need to still be alive. It's alright as long as it's not something that, you know, seems endangered. Most creatures are not inherently... The ecosystem tends to balance itself out, or it just changes so frequently that, you know, things naturally go as they will. Yes, I'm sorry. If you collect fish or aquatic animal samples for me, at least 3 as you go along the coast, that's all I could ask. And I will give you, say, 50 gold for each sample. Why not? I have a little bit of gold left over from the study. This would be to help continue our study as to if the rest of the coastline has been corrupted by chaos rot at all, or if it is just the port from the one ship.
Okay. So you're not interested in any of the stuff from the forest?
Not currently. The chaos rot study is kind of a really, really big concern right now. So, yeah, that's my main point of focus, and will be my main focus of study for probably the next month, if not more.
Okay. Well, I'll keep that in mind when we head out.
All right,
Can you
thank you.
In Deb's direction?
Yes. Yeah, and he takes you guys down to the aquatic observation deck, where it's just, you can see underneath the water down here, as there is glass segments of the floor that are currently roped off, but you can still kind of see down them, and there's a little glass viewing thing. You can see the bottoms of ships off in the distance, or the bottoms of a couple ships that are in port, I should say, and then no real wildlife swimming around or anything. And you see Deb just kind of looking out, sort of sitting crisscross applesauce in front of the big viewing window, just looking out it. Deb, hey, you got visitors. Oh, Deb. And Zebek kind of says, yeah, best of luck to you all. Thank you for the assistance. And you guys see Deb. She's in her lab coat, and she's wearing her glasses you see on the tips of her ears, but she looks pretty miserable.
I know how she feels.
Hi, oh god, hi guys. Hey, what's up? What do you need?
You want to go on an adventure?
Oh fuck, get me out of here. Yes.
That worked. Alright, get your stuff ready. We're heading out tomorrow.
Alright, awesome. I just gotta... Sorry, I'm a little hungover from... Oh, God. I had a friend come in from out of town. He went off to do a thing last night, but, like, he came back and we just fucking partied Man, I just can't feel anything right now. Oh, God. Ugh. Do any of you have a good hangover medication of any sort? I am still feeling this.
Siegfried's gonna offer
Well, I
his
could be
crab
an
to pet.
asshole and say just don't get drunk in the first place, but
So
Sadly,
Shylvie,
no.
Shylvie says, or yeah, and then Siegfried, what'd you say?
I'm gonna offer her my crab to pet.
Okay, you offer her the crab to pet. She's like, I don't. Okay, and she goes to pet the crab. Ooh, it's all tighteny. Oh god. It reminds me of ant kegs. Oh, I hate it. Nope, take it away. Oh god.
Cast good berry.
Sorry?
I'll cast good berry.
Oh, you do so. She's like, oh shit, hell yeah. And she pops one in her mouth. Oh, that's the good stuff. My head is still fuzzy, but I feel much better. Thank you very much. Okay, so what exactly are we doing? And you guys tell her about the quest to go down the just to expedite. You guys tell her about the quest to go down the coastline and go visit this person to possibly contract some elementals for some work and to collect samples for Zabek. And she says, "Huh. Well, that seems interesting. Is there anybody sponsoring this quest?" I mean, obviously Zabek's doing the payments for that, but that's not a ton of gold. Like, there must be something else, right?
I mean, the prospects for elementals is pretty great. They could, if we get our hands on the right thing, we might be able to find some rare materials. Also, we're probably gonna be doing some normal adventuring work, handling some monsters, harvesting, that type of thing.
That sounds nice. Honestly, after
there would have been a noble sponsoring at least part of it, but then.
Wait,
then
whoa, and she like perks up at the sound of that, and she's like, "Whoa, wait, I'm sorry, what was this about a noble sponsoring us?"
It included a lava island.
And
the volcano was most likely gonna explode, erupt. And there's lava monsters. And we didn't want to die.
I mean, if we were really fast, we might be able to avoid.
I see. I turn around and realize something. They're the same person.
You do notice that Deborah's shade of hair is much more orange than Anna's. Anna's was like fire engine red. Deborah's is more of a like actual human color of red hair.
She was gonna treat us as fodder if things went sour.
Huh. Well, that's never good. It's kind of part of the nature of things from what I've seen. But also, yeah, if the gold wasn't good enough, then I wouldn't even consider it, yeah.
It was apparently 5 gold each a day, and then extra depending on how things go, how many flowers we harvest.
Huh. That doesn't seem too terrible, and if you said they were a noble, I'm sure the bonus would have been something absurd. I mean, did you already respond to the person?
We told her that if the volcano was erupting, we would turn back. And then she had a little bit of a hissy fit, and then...
Oh, then forget it. Nah, she's probably moved on, unfortunately. Just from what I know of working with nobility, that they tend to not like adding stipulations, especially if they consider the people lesser than them in any way. Sounds like this person might have been a little selfish, huh?
Selfish is an understatement.
Who was this, by the way, so that I know for future reference to not work for them?
Salt something? Anna
what?
Salt something?
What?
Salt something? Salt brine? Brine
no.
Salt?
No, not Saltmeyer. You're not thinking of Saltmeyer, right?
That one.
No.
We are speaking of that one.
Absolutely impossible. There's no way. Guys,
like
alright, listen.
Or something?
Huh?
She's like the heiress or something of the salt mine.
They don't... They kind of work as a collective. I don't think that... Wait, or do you mean... Which one?
Fiery red hair.
Oh, there's only one of those
red
then.
hair and
Fucking
a
Anna.
complete disregard for humans.
Yeah, that's Anna. Okay.
The one
Yeah,
with
no,
fire
don't work
and
for her.
red hair and a complete disregard for any life other than her own.
Yeah, no, okay. I'm sorry. Okay. So I didn't think you guys were ever going to interact with Anna fucking Saltmeyer. Never work for Anna Saltmeyer. Everything always goes bad. Someone always dies. How did you all end up even interacting with her?
We saved her life.
She got kidnapped.
Oh,
I almost died. Died.
Naturally. Anything involving Anna Saltmeyer tends to just be horrible like that. Oh my gosh, really?
2 guards died.
Oh,
A
no.
bunch of other people died too. Her 2 guards, all those guys in the facility that kidnapped her, except, yeah.
Well, kidnappers can fuck right off to hell, the 9 hells, but, you know.
More importantly, I almost died. And now, I hate fish people. Or at least, monsters.
Okay.
Siegfried looks at Shylvie.
I was gonna say, there's a couple Tritons in town. You might want to temper your bias. Especially as an adventurer, my friend.
Ones that look like monsters. I hate them now.
Okay. Well, there's plenty of fish monsters to kill in the sea.
Shylvie reverts to ASO form and starts actually opening her mouth in that form.
Oh god. Remind me, do you have teeth, or is it just a gaping gelatinous maw?
It's a gaping gelatinous maw with like links of with venom trails in between a giant gaping hole, essentially.
So like that, yeah. See, that's...
Yeah, it's like stretching Jello.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh why? You all, as Shylvie is putting on this performance, everybody go ahead and roll a perception check for me. And I will roll Deborah's. That's good enough.
Perception, 14.
Okay.
5.
Okay. And Shylvie got a 21.
Wait, what? Oh,
Sorry, I'm looking at the
that was
chart.
my last one.
Oh, my bad. Everybody give me your numbers one more time.
12.
Okay, so 12,
5.
14. Siegfried, you don't notice this as you are distracted by Sylvie's gaping poisonous maw.
It's not poisonous, but yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, yeah, I don't remember, or however she described it. I apologize.
gross.
Squishy.
Gross.
Squishy. You all notice something scuttling beneath the docks, through the viewing platform that you can see off in the distance. It's very murky at that distance. You can't quite see too far, but there's something scuttling along underneath the docks. Something kind of big.
Should I kill it?
Is it a crab?
It's like some kind of crab.
Wait, so
It's heading in your direction.
So is it heading towards the Are we still in the underwater area?
The underwater observation deck, yeah.
Zen's gonna head up.
All right, you head up. Anybody who doesn't head up, it's still heading towards you guys.
Well, I don't even notice it, so...
Oh, yeah, Siegfried. Well, Siegfried, what did you roll? You said an 8?
He got a 5.
Oh, a 5? Okay, so yeah. Shylvie, you noticed it.
Yep.
Zen, tell me what action you are currently taking.
So I see the thing scuttling very quickly towards the glass, and I'm just gonna be like, nope. And I'm just like, all right, let's go. And I just turn around and I start walking as close to to get up them stairs as fast as possible.
Indeed. You do so. You are upstairs now. It's about 50 feet away, as he finishes doing that. Shylvie, you see Deborah just looking at your maw, just like, yeah. And it is about 50 feet away through the glass behind her. That is, quite impressive. But yeah, scary things like that, or perhaps with more teeth. Or claws, you know.
Yep.
Mandibles, that sort of thing. It's about 30
Yep.
feet away, Shylvie. You can see, it sort of has like a crab-like body, but it has a bit of a head that comes up, and sort of got a tentacly sort of mouth, and it has 2 very long pincers. Appears like it might be a bit bigger than a horse.
Zen made the right decision.
This
No one told me about it,
it
so I'm
sounds
just.
Yeah.
like a small kraken. Not gonna
He
lie.
did say out loud, let's go. He did say, nope, let's go. He did say it out loud.
Okay, you guys heard Zen say, nope, let's go, and then walk upstairs. Deborah's just like, wait, what's his deal? Siegfried, you're also kind of curious as to what the heck he's talking about. Shylvie, you look back at Deborah. The creature is about 25 feet away now. And it looks like...
Alright, put in Roll20 or Discord.
One sec, I have the wrong creature. One sec, fuck, now I have to remember the name. One sec. But basically, it's the basic description that I said. It has some tentacles on its face, it's got a crab-like body, about the size of a horse, environment, underwater...
As time passes, Zen's gonna say, get up here, you fools!
You're not telling us any information.
There's a monster! Jesus.
And he says that. And as he says that... Coastal, there we go. That's what I needed. Where is it? It's a monstrosity, so that's why it's tough for me to remember its name. It's one of those D&D, let's see if that's it. Nope, that's not it.
If
Damn
it's in
it.
the monster manual, I might be able to find it, dude.
It's either a fiend or a monstrosity. Oh wait, no, I think I found it. Nope, that's not it either. Fucking balls. Oh well. Anyways, the thing is heading quickly towards the observation deck. Shylvie, you see this now. Deborah turns around, she sees it, she says, "Oh shit, everybody up!" Siegfried, they draw your attention to it, and you now see this, crab-like, tentacle-faced, creature swiftly heading towards the observation deck. Hello? Siegfried?
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Are you and Shylvie doing anything? Deborah has bolted towards the stairs as well.
I'm gonna follow Deborah, I guess.
All right, you bolt upstairs, Shylvie.
Yep. Same here.
All right, up you guys go. As you all head upstairs, a couple seconds later, you hear a loud, sort of, I can't make the noise because I don't have any glass on me, but a loud noise, like a and like a thunk and a reverberation followed by the sound of cracking. Yeah. And the entire building shakes. Zebek shouts, "Not again!" And, I think that's where we'll end tonight's session. Is everyone okay with that?
Yep.
Alright, perfect. I have to fucking figure out what that creature is, excuse me. Have a wonderful night, my lovely listeners. Did you guys all have fun?
Yeah.
I know this was a
Yes.
less, there was no combat or anything, but, Last
more
session
OP,
was
the
plenty
better.
of combat.
I'm just looking forward to next time.
All right. Have a nice night, everybody.
Night.